Science with Miss McMillenstein. How to draw a simple bar graph. Before you start, make sure that you have the paper that you need to draw your graph on, a pen, a sharp pencil and an eraser, and a ruler. Right, the first thing that we need for a bar graph is information. Now, the information that we gathered during our investigation of the pillars that we did earlier with strengthening paper was to see which pillar was the strongest. And we tested that by putting books on top of it, stacking books onto the top of the different pillars. We discovered that the circular pillar could hold 12 books, the square pillar could hold 8 books before it broke, and the triangular pillar held 5 books before it tipped over. Now, we want to show this information visually. We want to draw a picture that shows the information that we have. And a good way to do that is to draw a bar graph. Now, what we will do is take your ruler and place it in line with the margin. And draw a light line. I'm going to do it with my pencil. A light line down the margin. That is going to be your vertical axis. Right, now we are going to indicate the number of books on the vertical axis to show how many books each pillar could hold. We are going to use the lines on our page as our measurement for each of those books. Now, the maximum number of books we had was 12, so we will write 12 over here. Oops. 12, 10 on that line, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0 will be our bottom line. And then take your pencil and draw the horizontal axis. Okay, if I push hard enough, it shows nice and clearly. So let's continue with the eraser to erase that out. All right. So this axis is showing us the number of books. So we label the axis. Number of books. Okay. This axis is going to be our pillars. Now, what we are going to do is measure 2 centimeter spaces for each pillar. So pillar 1 will have 2 centimeters, and then I'm leaving a centimeter gap between the two. Pillar 2, I've measured 2 centimeters for, leave a centimeter gap, and for pillar 3. All right. Pillar number 1, we will now number them, 1, 2, and 3 is our circular pillar. So we can write here number 1, or you could write circular pillar going upwards. But we are using this number here to indicate that pillar there. Pillar number 2 will be our square pillar, and pillar number 3 is our triangular pillar. How many books did our circular pillar support? 12 books. So we look here in our line for the number of books, and we see number 12 is on this line here. So we take our pencil and we indicate on that line that is how many books the circular pillar held. And then we draw a straight line down to our horizontal axis, and there we have our first bar, indicating the circular pillar held 12 books. Right, number 2 is our square pillar that held 8 books. There is number 8. So we will draw a line up to the line that indicates 8 books. Nice straight parallel lines. And across, and there we have our second bar of our bar graph. Our third pillar, the triangular pillar, held 5 books. Now, 5 is not indicated on here. Where would 5 fall? Between 4 and 6, so that halfway mark there. So we will draw our line halfway up between 4 and 6, because that indicates 5 books. Alright, and now we need to color each of the bars a different color so that we can see it very clearly. It's called a visual representation. So I've got nice red here, or pink. I used red to indicate the circular pillars, orange for the square, and green for the triangular pillar, and gave the horizontal axis the name pillars, and the name of our entire graph is called strength of hollow pillars, and this gives us the indication of each pillar and how many books each could hold before it tipped over. Right, so this is a simple way to draw a bar graph, taking information that we learned from an investigation and putting it into a visual format so that you can see what you have learned.